Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. If you haven't been here before, my name's Sarah. I'm married to Mark. We have 8 kids at home, ages 19 down to 2, and 2 older kids that have moved out and grandchildren. So we have the gamut of ages. And I am answering people's questions on different videos. Sometimes it needs a whole video to answer as opposed to just 1 or 2 sentences. So I'm doing a couple of these over the next couple days. So this question was written on a public comment on one of the YouTube videos. It says, what happens when your children go into the world to work and they may have to do things within the firm and do things the way others have to. This is real life. They will end up struggling. Not everyone lives the same way you do. You can't just cut yourself off from everyone else because they don't live the same as you. Some of you big families seem to want to live like that. So that was the question. I don't know this person who wrote it. It's not someone who interacts all the time, so I'm not sure. Some people like to ask questions that are trying to get certain answers from us. I'm just sharing on my YouTube channel. I only share the things that I want to share. And that happens on everybody's YouTube channel. That happens in real life. If you work with people, like at a job, you're only going to share certain details with your coworkers that you want to share. They're not going to know everything about your personal life. Same thing with YouTube. Some people think that I'm doing this for a job. I'm not. I make very little money on this, and this would not be a worthwhile job. But I am sharing the things that I want to share because I think they're of interest to other people. I think that they would be helpful to other people. And I think that there are people who are interested in how we choose to do family life, parent, homeschool, all of those, because it looks different than people that they know in their area that they have personal experience with. So that's why I share the things that I do. I don't share all the activities we do in the course of a week. And so when people see my channel, they see us kind of in a secluded bubble because I don't like to videotape my friends and family who don't necessarily want to be on video. Or it's just kind of awkward sometimes to ask your friends like, hey, I want to do this thing. Is it okay if I videotape, and should I share your kids' names, not share your kids' names if we're videotaping like in a public place with like friends of ours and a name is called and that person doesn't want their child's name, then I have to Mark has to edit it and everything. So those are just difficult situations. It doesn't mean that we don't go anywhere. I just don't show you footage of us being all these different places. So I do believe that my kids are going to have to live in the real world one day, and they are going to have to interact with people. And so I have them do those things on a regular basis. If you've watched, Josiah is our son who's 13. He has cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and I don't know what kind of job he's going to be able to get in the future. I would like him to be able to do something worthwhile for the world. But I don't know what that's going to look like. But he's had a lot of doctor's appointments recently. If you saw, he broke his wrist. We thought it wasn't broken. It actually is broken. So he's had all these doctor's appointments. He has interacted as a individual human being with all of these doctors and nurses at these appointments. When we go in, I have him go to the check-in. Like, I'm standing there with him, but I have him go to the check-in. He answers the questions. What's your name? What's your birthday? Have you been sick recently? All those things that they ask you at the doctor's office. He does those himself. We go, you sit in the waiting room. They come out and they say, Josiah, I expect him to stand up. Yes, here I am. Where are we going? And follow them and live like a normal person. I don't hey, Josiah, let me answer these questions for you. Let me do this. He needs to learn how to do those things for himself. He's only 13. He has a medical condition that I have to be very close, but he does those things. Did you have something you want to say?
All the people at church.
Yeah. So we have all these different places we go. That's one place that Josiah has gone recently because we've had a whole bunch of appointments. Mark said church. We go to church every Sunday with a group of people who, I don't know, are there 100 people on a normal Sunday?
I think about 80.
80 people on a normal Sunday. But it's coming up to summer for us, and we live in an area that there are a lot of tourists. So we get a lot of summer people, either two of our favorite people are coming back this week. They're summer people. They're here for the whole summer. But then we also have a lot of drop-ins that they rent an Airbnb in the area and they're looking for a church and they come to our church. That happens a lot over the summer. And my kids interact with them even more than a lot of the normal people in our church, like the other people in our church. My kids love people. So I think it's funny when people say homeschoolers aren't socialized, because my children will socialize with everyone. They love people. And it's not that because some people think about like awkward homeschoolers, and we all have quirks. We're all awkward in some way. If you don't think you are, just ask your friends. You probably have some awkward something. We're all awkward in some way. But my kids go and talk to a person, asking them about themselves. Like, oh, where are you from? Why are you guys here? When we go places like, trying to think, we've been places recently that the kids have done this, but I can't think of where they are. But we'll go places and the kids will ask, what's your favorite part about this job? Like we went to a Touch a Truck event last summer. That's one of the places I remember them doing this. Why did you get into firefighting or being a police officer? What kind of schooling did you have to do with that? What's your favorite part? What's your least favorite part? My kids actually have like real conversations with people, and it's not because it's written down on the clipboard, because we've been places with school groups where they'll go up and ask the one question that's written on the clipboard that they need answered, and they barely listen to the answer, just enough to scribble it down, and they run away before the person's done actually telling their story of what they were trying to say. So, and that can be homeschool kids too. I'm not saying it's just public school kids. I'm just saying that for my kids, they actually want to talk to people. They're very interactive and they live in the real world. My son and daughter who still live at home, plus my son and daughter that already moved out, all of them have taken driver's ed in the state of Maine. In the state of Maine, you have to be in a classroom setting. It's changed because of COVID, but they all have had to spend multiple hours in a classroom setting. And then, is it 30 hours in the car?
30 hours or 10 separate classes. 10 hours in the car.
10 hours in a car with a driving instructor where they have to like answer his questions and like be real big people who actually like talk to people. And they have 30 hours of classroom time, which some of that is online now because of COVID and everything. But like they can take a class, they can interact with the people that they need to in a very reasonable way. All of them have been complimented by the teachers for how they interact in class, and how they pay attention and all of that stuff. All of them have been able to assimilate the information and drive well and test well to pass the test. They've all passed like the written test the first time, and the first three all have their driver's, all three that have taken their driver's test have their driver's license. And they've passed the first time. And then our son Samuel is waiting for his driving test appointment. So we'll see how he does. But I'm not thinking there's going to be a problem there. But he lived in the real world in the fact that he went off to do this. The driver's ed instructor still likes him. Like he's seen him multiple times out, and the driver's ed instructor like wants to interact with him. I know that there are times that people are like, okay, I had that person in my class, not just for driver's ed, but other things. Like I had to deal with that person for this, or I had to deal with that person for that. And I really don't want to see that person again. Like this driver's instructor still likes us, still likes Samuel, still likes Naomi. And they've all done well with that. Naomi and Samuel. So we have the age range of kids in our house. And because of some special needs in our house, we do things differently than other families. So our kids don't do a lot of like, oh, we're going to go drop you off at VBS. And I'm going to do another video about that in a few minutes. But my older kids have gone out and done things. So the 16-year-old Samuel and 19-year-old Naomi have been going recently to a bunch of different citizenship and government type things. So they've gone to Naomi went to the Republican caucus. Samuel could not because he was not of voting age. And then they've been going to Republican meetings where they are listening to the gubernatorial candidates and things that are going on within the Republican Party. Oh, and interviewing them. So going up and actually like, I have a question. Naomi's been asking them questions on their stance on abortion in Maine. So like actually interviewing them, talking to them, talking to the other people, like they've become friendly with the other Republicans in the area. And I'm going to have people say something about, oh, Republicans, you hate Democrats, blah, blah. No. We are going to the Republican candidates because we care to vote for a Republican about what they have to say. And if none of the Republicans are worth voting for, then we might vote for an independent. But so far, there's only Republicans that we're looking towards right now. But it's not because we don't ever interact with Democrats or anything like that. They're going to these meetings because they're looking to talk to the Republican gubernatorial candidates. They went to a class the other day that was led by Laurel Libby and her group. And it's about like how to be a good voter and a good citizen, knowing what's going on in your government. So they've been going to all those things, talking to people, interacting with people, doing that totally on their own. Like Mark went to one meeting with Naomi, just because we weren't like sure where it was and all of that stuff. But so far, like other than that one, those two have just gone to these things. So we go to the local museum, like we have a transportation museum near us. We go there and the kids interact with people, asking them questions about the things that they love, like the things that the other person loves, like why do you like working on this car? What's your favorite part about this airplane? So my kids do have the skills to work in the real world. And it was kind of funny because I saw that question today about, your kids needing to work in the real world and everything. And we actually had someone come offer Samuel a job today, shortly after we read that question. While we were out in the real world. So we do want our kids to be involved in the real world. And our two children who are out in the real world actually like have jobs, do things. Virginia, is a young mom who's home with her kids now, but also has some like side things she does. So like they have real world adventures. So if you have more questions about if my kids actually live in the real world, I just don't show it on the videos, but
it would be very
they
hard
do.
for us to show video of what they're doing when they're not with us.
Yeah, when they're not with us, I don't think they have to be videotaping. So, but if you have other questions about how our world works, I'm only showing you a small part of it, and that's because that's what I'm choosing to show you, because either it's awkward to show you the other things or I'm too busy doing real world things to videotape them for you. This is when you usually get the videos, is when I have a sleeping little one and the other kids are taking a rest time watching some science videos. So yeah, that's what's going on. We'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.